Frontline Gardaí are increasingly young or relatively new to the force. These men and women are prepared to put their lives on the line, whether chasing car thieves or investigating the aftermath of a gangland murder. Their numbers are reducing as more take retirement. There is a recruitment freeze. In a country crime-ridden with gangland killing, drugs, violence and spiralling thefts, these officers feel betrayed.
%60 of the force have less than 10-year service. These are the people whom yet have not in fact been reached the full pay levels that are applicable to members of the force. They have entered into mortgage commitments like other people on the basis that they would be receiving X and now they're receiving Y. Members of the Guards that I represent are almost €5,000 worse off in 2010 than they were in 2008. Now, by any stretch of the imagination, that's a horrific amount of money to be down in your wages. And can you imagine coming to work where you have to concern yourself about the concerns of citizens who are ravaged by drugs, by criminality, by gratuitous violence, and that back home, wherever you are, you're worried about your own mortgage, not being able to pay your debts, and the likelihood that if you find yourself before the courts on a civil charge, that the Garda Commissioner will then introduce the discipline regulations, which could mean your dismissal from the force.
I'm in the job 13 years now, and I've never felt that morale was as low as it is now. You know, it's impacting on us every day, and you can see it getting worse and worse, and that undermines the job we do. It would be laughable if it wasn't so serious. You know, you would have to laugh at it, but because of the impact on people in an everyday kind of level, it's far from laughable. You know, it's frightening. I'm sure it makes people angry, it makes me angry, and it's kind of hard to see the sense in it.
The last thing you want to do when you're going out and doing your job every day is to be having to be worried at the same time about domestic problems and stresses from home. Everyone wants to go to work just to do their job and do it well and to the best of possibility. And I always believed, and most of my colleagues always believed, that when you went into the job, you might never be rich, but you'd never be poor, but you'd always have the security of your pay and of your allowances and of the support you get. But that has been eroded now, and it is affecting members. It has to be like.
Hello, it's just the Bridal Garda station here.
Dublin's Gardaí stations are always busy. Crime is one market that hasn't collapsed. Throughout the force, Gardaí feel let down by their politicians. Pay cuts impact on families and many fear for the future. The salary for a Garda after 10 years is €894 per week. Compare this with a new TD who is paid €2,154 per week. It's a different world.
I've been in the Guards almost 12 years, and I think this probably is the worst that morale has been in terms of the pay cuts. They've impacted terribly on family situations. Members have made mortgage commitments on pay commitments that were given to them, and they still have to abide by those commitments, pay their mortgage or try and pay their mortgage. And unfortunately, the commitments that were given to us by the government haven't been enforced.
The pay cuts have affected me in the ways that I'm also married to a guard, as is it's a common situation where I work in particular, where colleagues are married to guards and other public sector workers, and so any pay cut that comes down the road for me is I'm getting it on the double at home because my wife has been affected by it as well. And in recent times, in the last say 2 years, averaging out roughly at about probably 10,000 take-home pay of a deduction between the two of us. So that's a significant loss to our family income.
I have young children myself. They're 11 and 6, and practically speaking, with children in school, they have extracurricular activities, and obviously the cuts are going to affect all of those things.
The children are affected now. We're little treats like holidays or weekends away and that kind of thing. That's all gone by the wayside now. It's about paying the bills on a daily and weekly basis.
On patrol along the border with Northern Ireland, in one of the most dangerous and challenging areas for Gardaí to work in, Unarmed, they have to deal with the rising dissident terror threat as well as cross-border smuggling. Not only do these officers have to worry about reductions in their pay, they are also concerned that the equipment they are supplied with isn't up to the standard where they can combat crime.
Working in the border region, there has been big changes in the last couple of years since the recession has started.